Biden's plan faces criticism really from both sides at this point. Republican lawmakers say he waited too long to act and that the plan isn't tough enough. And some progressives say it goes too far in restricting asylum. Joining me now, Democratic Congressman Adriano Espaillat of New York, Deputy Chair of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus and the first Dominican American to serve in the House of Representatives. Sir, appreciate your time this morning on this important topic. Thanks for being here. Your caucus called the executive order deeply concerning. Explain to me why.
It's concerning, of course. We understand that the president had no choice but to go the route of an executive order since Congress has not acted. There are several initiatives that I think may have worked. One is the Dignity Act, which is led by a Republican Congresswoman from Florida, which I support as a bipartisan piece of legislation that looks at immigration reform, yes, not from the enforcement side, but also from the reform side. The executive order is an enforcement-only order, and that's why we are concerned about it. We feel that it's not going to resolve the immigration crisis. It will address border security in some ways, but it will not address, for example, spouses of U.S. citizens that have been waiting for years upon years. Dreamers who came here when they were 1, 2 years old and now are fully embedded in the American fabric. People that need work permits that our economy direly needs. It doesn't address farm workers that are also needed to bring food to our tables. So it's not a fix-all effort. It is an enforcement-only effort. And because of that, we're somewhat concerned.
Right. So dreamers, spouses, gotaways. It also doesn't address all of those who were able to escape capture.
That's correct. And also, we should not shut the door on the concept of asylum. It is a concept and a piece of the American experience that I think is important. People fleeing violence, death, dictatorships. We've seen that across our history, how America has been a beacon of hope and opportunity for people that are fleeing those circumstances. We shouldn't shut down the door for people that knock on our doors and say, the government in my native country is trying to assassinate me or hurt my family. We should always provide harbor and opportunities for those families. And I think perhaps this executive order goes a little bit too far.
Is it inhumane, as critics have called former President Trump's approach at the border? Does this go that far in your mind?
Well, President Biden had no choice to act because the intransigent MAGA Republicans in Congress have refused to move on this and have weaponized the immigration issue every 4 years to try to score political points. We see how time and time again they go back and play the immigrant card every single time to try to get votes and win elections. They don't want to resolve that. We saw a piece of legislation in the Senate that was perhaps as hard-hitting with regards to enforcement as this executive order, and they shut it down. We've seen how the Dignity Act in the House, led by a Republican member of Congress, shut down. They don't want to resolve the problem. They want to keep it moving forward so they can yield some political results from it.
Right. And the political power of this issue is apparent already and certainly will become November. Does this move by the president, it's not an enviable position that he's in, alienate progressive voters?
We'll see whether it does or not, but hopefully the president will also, as we move forward in the next couple of weeks or months, will consider also some of these fair and balanced ideas, such as, for example, providing a break, an opportunity for the spouses of U.S. citizens. We're talking about keeping families together, dreamers who are nurses, teachers, homeowners, business owners. They're Americans by one thing, a card, right? A citizenship. That's what doesn't make them an American. Everywhere else, every aspect of their lives is American. Let's give them an opportunity. Farm workers, the agricultural sector is crying for farm workers and, of course, work permits. The economy is still lagging. We've seen in your reports today how the economy is still dragging itself a little bit. Let's give people work permits so they can give that boost to the economy and get us back on the right track.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.